MarineLorD. He's winning a TVP.
Yeah.
But regardless, we are going to kick off this series on 2,000 Atmospheres, LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. The blue Terran player coming down from the land of France. He is representing Cocas Authentic Pepit. He is MarineLorD.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2,000 Atmospheres LE, we have the red Protoss player representing Dominaticus Esports. It is Hellraiser. Every single time I say that team, I want to say the Dominican. I want to say Dominican.
Why?
It just flows off the tongue, mate.
It's a Dominican national team.
Exactly, it is.
Nation Wars.
Dominaticus. There we go.
Yep. Really cool to see that Hellraiser got picked up, and honestly, really cool to see that Dominaticus is still picking up these very, very skilled players from around the world, really, at this point.
Yeah, they have a decent European roster. They, of course, have their own Koreans. Chance recently joined their team. Chance, aka Change, aka Joel Titan, aka Chance again. As he did rename himself again this morning. Shaking my head.
Did I dream this, or was there also a player called One Stork that got picked up by them?
Yes. He's an amateur player though, but yes.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, remember we memed about it in our Discord, like because
I thought that was a fever dream. I gotta be honest.
I was wondering, Stork recently announced his retirement, and we were talking about it, and then immediately it was announced that a player called One Stork joined Dominaticus. And it's like, yo, what? What's going on?
Sensing a bit of a pattern there.
Yeah, was not a dream.
Yeah, Dream unfortunately is not playing here. This is the EU group stage.
Unfortunately. Maybe we'll see him later on, in the cross finals, in the season finals, if you will. As I don't know if we have confirmed players for that. I think we may. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, I haven't quite looked at the Korea play-ins yet, but yeah, it's basically the semifinalists and 2 players from play-ins are going to make it there from Korea.
Yeah, that they will. Meanwhile, we're slowly getting into this TVP, and our eyes are on MarineLorD. What is he going to bring to the table here? What kind of aggression is he going to be whipping out? And, oh my.
A 2-on-1 is going to be the answer, but not your grandma's 2-on-1, if you want to call it that. Not a 2-on-1 with reacted Marines and medevacs out. Instead, 2 Raxes and reacted Hellions.
Hashtag not my 2-on-1, mate. Very interesting choice here from MarineLorD. Nicely done. He does deny the vision of Hellraiser. Hellraiser does not spot anything here, only the factory and the Rax, so he is in the dark.
Yeah, for all he knows, it's a 1-on-1.
For all he knows, which is the more standard thing to do. Meanwhile, speaking of standard, Hellraiser is working on that. Twilight Council is going to be working on Blink, I imagine. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, Blink is a safe option. There we go.
Remember that I was doubting myself. I was like, yo, DTs?
Against MarineLorD? Maybe it'll work.
Man, you gotta find something, right? This man hasn't dropped the map, Like, just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
And speaking of this man who hasn't dropped a map, it is not in fact going to be a 2-on-1, but a 3 Rax with a factory focus. I don't quite remember the last time I've seen this, if I've ever seen this style of 3 Rax.
Like, again, typically we see just straight up 3 Rax, just Rax into Rax into Rax, right? And then maybe it goes into factory starport for those medevacs. But yeah, this is a very interesting composition from MarineLorD.
So focusing on getting out Cyclones? It's going to be a very mobile army, especially once Stim finishes up.
Yeah, I mean, Cyclones are pretty good.
Especially against units that are armored like Stalkers, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, looking at Hellraiser, he still hasn't seen anything. He didn't go for, I don't know, say a safety sentry for hallucinated scout or something along those lines.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the defensive position that he's got right now, and okay, Ad Observer's making its way out, and he prioritizes getting a Robo Bay, but is it too late? I believe the Observer catches the tail end of that.
He did. I hope he saw it. It looks like he has. He's repositioning his army. We do have another shield battery behind this at the third. Third's about to finish up, so overcharge will be available.
Sim's not done quite yet, but if Hellraiser overextends, these Cyclones are going to have a very good time. I don't think he saw the Cyclones initially. And just like that, one Cyclone, Stalker goes down, another one significantly weakened.
Hey, what is there here to defend, mate? Like, oh my god, the Cyclone's still alive! How? One more shot and it could go down. Meanwhile, the Stalkers are being zoned away from the shield batteries.
Finally, one Cyclone goes down, but MarineLorD has traded so efficiently so far that shield battery was super exposed and does get picked off. And there's just about nothing left here for Hellraiser. Sure, he's got Blink, but he's running out of room to Blink too.
Exactly, all the workers are going down. We have a couple of reinforcements trickling in. To be fair, every single stim does hurt the army of MarineLorD, but he's already achieved so much.
Yeah, I don't think MarineLorD can end the game here, but he's already gotten quite a bit of a lead when it comes to the economy. Doesn't want to stick around now that the Immortal is out. Does want to regroup though.
Oh yeah, mate, he wants to end the game. Like, with these Immortals, you're always waiting, and he does dive on top of the Stalkers. This Immortal is so exposed. Run home, puppy, run home.
It doesn't have much of a buffer, yeah.
Oh my god. Like, there's no shield batteries here. There's no defensive position to really claim for Hellraiser. He is working on a Colossus, and that will maybe change things. But again, MarineLorD is getting ready for the next wave.
Yeah, the Colossus are going to help out a ton against Marines. Not so much when it comes to the Marauders, especially when the medevacs come into play.
Exactly.
And, yeah, and while it's great that Hellraiser is getting his Colossus out, he doesn't really have much of a buffer for that Colossus either. Doesn't have too many gateways at the moment.
That he does not. He skipped out on the gateways for the faster Robotics Bay and the faster Colossus production. To be fair, he does have a couple of Stalkers now. He also has a Sentry for some force fields, so this isn't the most vulnerable army. There was a moment earlier where maybe MarineLorD could have pressed his advantage, but he didn't want to throw things away. He wanted to wait for those medevacs so he can go for a more secure push.
Yeah, a couple more reinforcements coming down as well. Actually going for a bit of a drop instead, so yeah, some multi-prongs are going to be on the table here for MarineLorD.
Yeah, I love it, mate. You know, we see one army, and the problem is for Hellraiser, he doesn't have enough to really split between his bases, so the likelihood of this drop getting damage done, getting drone kills is there.
It's very, very likely to say the least. Quick pull on the probes, but a bunch of them will go down regardless. The Colossus! Thermal S isn't done yet! Thermal S isn't done yet! But the force fields will save the day. MarineLorD doesn't really want to risk too much here.
Mate,
his initial drop is chased away.
Those force fields were so important. Without the force fields, the Colossus would have immediately been focused down one after the other. So props to Hellraiser, holding on there just barely. Meanwhile, he was able to warp into his main base. He did lose 7 probes, but at least he does force the hot pickup of that drop.
Yeah, he forces a hot pickup. He forces the drop to end. More importantly, forces MarineLorD to not commit too hard on the attack. Really doesn't want to commit to anything if you can't multi-prong.
That he is. Meanwhile, we see another scan. The Colossus is still looking so exposed, by the way. Oh, God. Double drop comes into the main base. This will free up the ability for this one drop towards the north to actually land.
It will, funnily enough. MarineLorD gets a really good scout with this as well. Takes out the Robo Facility. No Warp Prism for you. No more Colossus either.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of no more Colossus, in comes the main army. Immediately the first and second Colossus go down. GG gets called.
Wow. Bit of a longer game, a bit of a longer TVP than I'm used to when it comes to MarineLorD, if I'm being honest. It wasn't the longest game in the world either. But still very, very decisive from him.
Yeah, like that was beautiful, man. Like that, I haven't seen that opener before from a Terran player in TVP. That aggressive start, you know, the way he got into that 3 racks with the Cyclone support, it helped so much because of his micro. He was able to keep those Cyclones alive and really overwhelm those Stalkers. And ever since that moment, he did have the advantage. And yeah, what a build there. What a build from MarineLorD.
We haven't seen that build come out from a Terran player, and I'm not sure if Hellraiser has either. Because he was going to the Watchtower, he was convinced it was just Marines, and Stalkers, especially with Blink, or even without Blink, they outrange Marines so well that Hellraiser was just looking to shut down the 3 racks aggression before the aggression happened. All of a sudden, face first with 2 Cyclones, and it's like, uh-oh.
Like,
oh no.
like for me, that looked scary. Like, I'm not even playing, and I'm scared of MarineLorD right now. Like, oh my god, that was crazy. So
I'm not even playing. I don't even play Protoss. Hell, I play Terran, as a matter of fact, and I'm scared.
yeah. Just what a way to take the first game, and now we're diving into game 2, and hopefully Hellraiser can keep his morale up and again just get into his own game here, because it is romanticide. The likelihood of this game going a little bit longer is there.
And there's definitely a lot of potential for Hellraiser in a longer game. He cut a lot of corners earlier on to get to his late game army quicker. Would definitely favor him in that scenario, but we'll see as we continue our series here on Romanticide LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, swinging all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have the blue Terran player making his way from France. He is going to be representing Cocas Authentique Pepite. He is MarineLorD.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the red Protoss player representing Dominaticus Esports. It is Hellraiser.
One of the most metal names I've heard from a player.
Is Hellraiser on your list?
Sure, why not?
I was wondering, Yaku does every couple of months, every couple of years, host a movie club where he and Steel Mold go over some old movies that Yaku has not watched, as he's a bit more of a...
Wait, that's a movie? I thought you were talking about my list of player names that I thought were cool.
Oh, you have a list of... Wait! You have a list of player names that you think are cool?
Yeah, IRL names and in-game names.
Oh my
online
God.
handles.
No, it's a movie, mate. What do you? It's a series.
It's a movie?
Yeah, it's a pretty iconic series of movies. Not all of them are good, but it's kind of like, you know how like Friday the 13th has like 20 movies or whatever,
and only like the first 2 are good. Yeah,
a couple of them are good, or like Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff like that. Hellraiser, it's another like horror movie franchise. Really?
I feel ashamed because that's the one genre that I'm smug about Steel on. And I'm like, I've watched more horror movies than you.
God damn it.
Huh.
Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head. I just don't know what else to say now. I just don't know what else to say.
Well, how about the fact that MarineLorD is going for another 2? I'm hesitant to call it a 2-on-1.
Oh.
There we go. The 3 racks is on the way.
Yeah, much more standard. This is what we are used to here. No early racks. Sorry, no early factory for those cyclones. Just straight up 3 racks.
Yeah, still playing things a little bit safe. He hasn't really gone across the map. He went the Reaper, so he doesn't really know what Hellraiser has in store. Still getting that bunker out.
It's a movie. God damn it. As we do get into this game, and likewise, Hellraiser hasn't been able to sneak into the main base. He hasn't seen what's coming his way, and the problem is that I'm sure he's paranoid, right? We saw that quirky build from MarineLorD in game number 1, which was like a pseudo 3 racks, and he doesn't know if that's happening again, if it's another 1-1-1, if it's a 2-1-1. He's so much more in the dark than before.
Yeah, all these Marines are a bit of a tell that it's something very barracks focused, but as you said, he doesn't know if there's going to be a twist on it, which is why he gets the Dark Shrine.
I love it. Time and time again, we have seen a Dark Shrine as a response to 3 racks, and we've seen it fail, but we've also seen it succeed.
We have. Gotta be honest though, I think I've only seen it fail 1 time.
Yeah.
Proboscis Raza, for anyone who's watch that series.
I do recall. So again, the goal here with these DTs is, because of this aggressive opener, you're kind of limited when it comes to your scans, like how much energy you have available on your CCs. On top of that, defensively, DTs are amazing. Offensively, they're amazing as well. Hellraiser can kind of have his way with MarineLorD here.
I almost want to call them the Mutalisks of Protoss, in the sense that, well, okay, Mutalisks are a very offensive unit, not the best defensively.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I'm throwing that analogy in the trash now and coming up with something better.
It's so good. I mean, regardless, what we're getting at is I'm looking forward to see how much damage these DTs can do and how much time it's going to buy Hellraiser to get this third base up and running because, again, MarineLorD wants to be aggressive here, but if he runs into DTs, then he's going to be anything but. Unfortunately, Hellraiser doesn't have a spotter in the middle of the map. He doesn't know that this is coming.
That he doesn't. But he is looking to be a little bit
This is all he
cheeky
has
with
at
his
home, mate.
DTs.
2 units, mate. This is all he has.
He may be forced to recall, but at the same time, I'm keeping my eyes on the orbital commands of MarineLorD. He saved the scan, and he has the eBay out already. Does he have any missile turrets? I believe he has one natural, yep.
He has one in the natural, scans in the main, and now MarineLorD can rush up this ramp. We need some DTs at home, though. We need anything at home. Something, please. Oh, no.
Well, he doesn't have a whole lot of gas to work with. The shield battery immediately gets taken out. And MarineLorD can basically do anything. He's actually allowing that DT to finish up. Guess he wants to give Hellraiser a little bit of a chance. GG is called. MarineLorD takes that series